Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is coming in 2022. But what type of movie can we expect from the second installment from the Sonic franchise? Hey, it's me, AP, and welcome to the Saturday movie show, everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely Saturday today. It's a very cold Saturday here in the UK. I've contemplated putting on a jumper this morning, but I thought I've got to keep up with, with the red, the jacket, the black jacket, the attire I wore for the Saturday movie show every week. And like I said, I'm not wearing a jumper. I'm sticking with this, but I have decided to. I was gonna short little story. I was gonna shave my head. I'm a bald man, so I shave my head. My hair is thinning, so I shave it weekly. But this past week, it's just been so cold, and every time I shave my head, I have to put moisturizer on my head to keep it nice and good, keep good care of my skin. But because it's been so cold in the UK, it's been the coldest. I read like something on Twitter the other day where it's like the coldest weather in the UK like we've had for a long period of time since 1995 here in the UK. Which is a long time since 1995. It's 2021 now, but it has been really cold. So I've this week I've decided not to shave my head. I thought it's so cold and I don't want to be moisturising my head and then putting on a cap or a hat. Obviously not a cap in this weather. I've been wearing woolly hats. But I've decided to just let my hair grow out. The lack of hair is very, very. I look like Doc Brown, basically. If I take this hat off, it starts to look a bit like Doc Brown. If I grow it out too far, I will become Doc Brown out of Back to the Future. But today, the hat has saved me. The hat has saved you all from seeing my bad hairline. So I suppose you could thank me for that today. But yeah, it's a cold day, but you know what? Cold days. What do we have on cold days? We have plenty of food. We have radiators. They were invented for cold days as well. Jumpers and coffee. As always, coffee, ladies and gentlemen, is on the agenda today. I am, at this moment in time, I am trying to reduce my caffeine levels. So I'm a guy who drinks a heck of a lot of caffeine in a week. I drink a lot of coffee in a day, and it become apparent to me when I looked in the mirror and my teeth were brown. And brown and yellow, with yellow stains. No, they're not that bad. I've got a good set of teeth, thankfully. But it was just a case, I was aware that I was drinking way too much coffee, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to start drinking decaf instead. And now I've reduced it from like 8 to 10, it's literally like 8 or 10 cups a day of normal coffee. Now I'm down to like 4 or 5 cups in general, but 2 only being caffeine drinks. So I'm now reducing it, and I think it's just I'm just worried. I'm a health conscious guy, and I just think reducing caffeine levels is a good idea. I know I can get better sleep. I sleep well, but I think maybe I could sleep even a bit better. And I know there's a ton more benefits of quitting caffeine, and I'm giving it a try, and this is my second caffeine cup of the day for the Saturday movie show. I thought I need to have a bit of caffeine while I'm doing the Saturday movie shows to keep my energies levels up, try and feel as flamboyant and as spectacular as I can to present the show today to you all, because it's a fun packed show. So let's move away from talking about myself. Let's move on to the Saturday movie show. We're going to start with a nice sip of coffee, guys. Right, so as I said in the intro, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has been announced now it's going to be released next year in 2022. We have the date, it is going to be April 8th, 2022. This was announced this week in an announcement trailer, where it was a short trailer just showing the titles, some music from the old video games, and it just announced what the title would be, and it is super duper original, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That is the title for the second movie in the Sonic franchise. And you know what? I don't think Sonic needs like a super duper big long title. I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 says it all. And it's good as well because it follows on from the games. Because I believe the first game was just Sonic, and then it was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Then introduced Tails to the franchise, the video game franchise, and now we're seeing it here with the movie franchise. We've seen if you can't really remember Sonic the Hedgehog the first movie, I had to look over Wikipedia for this and just remember it. I've watched it a few times, but it's just my memory just really goes after when I've watched the film. I have to rewatch it again, or otherwise the plot will just go out of my mind straight away. But there was a mid-credit scene at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog the first movie where Tails lands on Earth and he's looking for Sonic. So now Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is going to introduce Tails. We can imagine because in the announcement trailer, the Tails has a tail and it's the colours of his fox friend Tails as well. So it's obviously incorporating that, and it's going to be cool just to see more characters. We're hearing, I've seen it online a lot this week on Twitter. A few different websites reporting it, so I'm not too sure who reported it first. That Jason Momoa, Aquaman's Jason Momoa, is apparently being lined up to play Knuckles in the movie. Apparently, he's been offered the role of Knuckles, and Knuckles is like this. I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it an Enchida? It's like it's pink character. It's some sort of animal, obviously, because they're all animals. Hedgehog, a fox with tails, and this Enchida. And he's apparently been offered the role of Knuckles, Jason Momoa. So, I mean, wow, if they get Jason Momoa as Knuckles, who I always felt like Knuckles was like the third piece in the wheel. Do you know what I mean? He's not the third piece in the wheel. He's just the third part of this. It's Sonic and Tails, and Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. But if they're getting Jason Momoa to play Knuckles potentially, it makes me think who are they going to get to play Tails? Because in the short scene that was the mid-credit scene in the Sonic movie, I believe it was the director. I think is it something Fowler, the guy who directed the first Sonic movie. He apparently voiced Tails in that, and it was short. But I can't imagine that he would voice him in a sequel. I think they want to get someone with a bit of like star value to just to make it more appealing to audiences. So I'm looking forward to it. Right, let me give you my sort of like backstory with Sonic the Hedgehog, really, just to pull the curtain back a bit. So I'm a kid of the 90s. I was brought up in the 90s, and back then we had the Mega Drive. We had the Sega Mega Drive console, games console. I know it's called the Sega Genesis across the world, and I was massive on the Sega Mega Drive. We had, I remember as a kid having the first few consoles we had. We had the SNES, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and I remember having the Mega Drive. But I remember just playing the Mega Drive a lot more than the SNES. And it's not that I didn't enjoy the SNES. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed playing like Mario and Duck Hunt and a load of other games as a kid, but I remember having the Mega Drive and just playing that non-stop. And one particular game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That was a game I really enjoyed. I remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one as well. But Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was just a game I would continuously play. I really enjoyed it as a kid. I thought it was awesome. I don't think I ever completed that game. I don't think I ever completed it as a kid. And I've never completed it as an adult either. I've recently got for the Nintendo Switch like the Mega Drive collection where you get like all the classic Mega Drive games on one little cartridge. But I've recently tried playing the Sonic game and I still can't complete it. I always get stuck on a certain level. It's like, I think it's like the third level or second level. I always just get stuck on certain parts of that. It's frustrating, but I've got through it sometimes, but not every time. It's a tough game, but it's a fun game, and it's full of fun music, fun animations, fun locations, and I think this is where I want to take this now. This is such a fun world, and the first movie was a really fun movie, really entertaining family movie. I was surprised by what we seen. I thought it was good, and especially from that original trailer and the original look of Sonic was pretty awful. And I I just remember just like the backlash of that was, it was crazy. And then look, they changed it around. They made him look more like Sonic. They put out a movie which was a fun movie. The only thing I didn't like about the first one was the where it was set. I didn't feel like I would have preferred it if it was set in like the world of Sonic more, and it was more within the world of the video games, whereas it was just set on Earth. So I think what I would like to see in the second one is they go into the world of Sonic and show all these like different settings that were featured within the video games, or just something like that in that sort of mold. Really, I suppose the first Sonic movie is more like an origin movie for Sonic, and he was like a younger version of Sonic. And we obviously get Eggman, Dr. Robotnik, Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik in it as well. And in the end of that movie, he lands in one of these worlds with like big giant mushrooms behind him. So he is obviously in that world now. And I don't if you don't remember the ending as well, it ends with him. He's now got the full look of Eggman, the mustache, the bald head, but he is in that world, and he's like saying, "I'm gonna get Sonic," but he's got one of Sonic's quills, which is like this glowing quill where it's obviously got some of his powers in to make him supersonic. So one could imagine that this sequel hopefully will take place or take part somewhat in the world of Sonic, or just some weird planet setting like the video games, or one of the cool locations that were within the video games as well. And I'd really like to see like Dr. Eggman with, you know, basically with the video games where you get to the end of the level and then you have to take him down. He's in like his flying machine, and we've seen that in the first movie, like the flying machine he had. But just him and Sonic take battle in that world. I think it would be good as well because of, I mean, filming this year it's probably going to be harder with everything that's going on in the world right now. I know they are. I've heard it. They're going to Hawaii and Vancouver to film, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to film in locations within Hawaii and Vancouver. It could be just certain places they need to get like pictures of like trees or something for like they're using in location backgrounds. I don't know. It's hard to say yet. We don't know fully if it's going to be a movie set on Earth or set in the world of Sonic. But either way, I'm stoked for this. I think it's going to be a cool movie. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, plot ideas. I don't know. Just having more of that world from the video games. If they're going to have Knuckles, they're going to have Tails. That tells me that they're going to have more stuff from the video games. And like I said, the first movie was good. It was a good movie, and I think if they can just build upon that, I think they've got a really nice franchise here. I think they've got a really nice franchise going, and it's cool that we're getting video game movies or video game movie adaptations that are working, and they're starting to work with the public. People are starting to enjoy them. The one I really enjoyed over the past couple of years was Detective Pikachu. I'm doing a video soon on video game movie adaptations, and I was just thinking about this the other day and like what type of movies and how many there have been. It's like you look at like there's been Assassin's Creed, there's been a Hitman, there's been Mario, and there's been tons more. I can't even think of them all. There's been hundreds of video game adaptations like Mortal Kombat, but there's been very few that have been good, in my opinion. I think the first one that I really thought was a good movie. Well, you know, actually, well, there's two, and they've come in recent years, and it was the first one was the Detective Pikachu movie, which starred Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. I thought that was a great movie. As a fan of Pokemon, maybe it's just because I'm a massive fan of Pokemon, I enjoyed it, but I liked the tone of the movie. I thought it was just, again, an entertaining watch. And another adaptation I really enjoyed was the rebooted version of Tomb Raider, which came out maybe like 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe a bit longer. And I know they're working on the sequels to that at the moment, but I thought that was a good movie. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed Angelina Jolie's ones from like the early 2000s. I thought they were okay, but I really thought they nailed it with this one. I thought it was a really good adaptation. It was a cool movie as well. And it goes to show that they can adapt video games into good movies. And it showed that with Sonic certainly. So that's why they're getting a sequel. It's a deserved sequel, and I can't wait till April the 8th in 2022. Sure, that might get delayed. It might get delayed. Everything's getting delayed at the moment, movies-wise, but at the moment we got a theatre. It's coming to theatres in 2022. We've got something solid. It's happening. We're going to get the sequel to the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and that, in my opinion, is awesome. I like it. I like to hear that. Let's go to some more new movie news now. So, in other news, the Hollywood Reporter had an article this week in regards to Black Widow. Now, basically, Disney CEO Bob Chapek told investors on Thursday, in an investor meeting, that we are still intending for it to be a theatrical release. This is in regards to the Black Widow movie. And then but he also added here, this was another statement in that article, we will be watching very carefully to see whether that strategy needs to be revisited. So, the word on the street now is Disney now have got 3 to 4 weeks to decide whether Black Widow will go ahead with the release that is set at the moment. So it is just set for a theatrical release. It is due out on May the 7th, 2021 at the moment. Will it happen? This is the question now. Because they're talking about like this 3 or 4 weeks potentially. And Bob Chapek is talking about it may be revisited because of still what is going on in the world. It is a point now where you start to maybe ramp up the advertising. So do we start putting out commercials on TV, a ton of commercials? Do we start putting big posters around cities? Do we just go crazy and spend a massive budget on advertising the movie for the release date in May? Or do we look at it and say, we need to change this release now? Do we need to either do a hybrid release, releasing it on streaming the same day? Do we need to just pull the release totally and delay it even more? This movie's been delayed 2 times already. 2 times. Can it really... I mean, is it logical to do a third delay? I think at this point it's not a good idea to delay a movie for a third time. And there's a few reasons for that with Marvel. First of all, it's money. Money, you're spending more and more money with the delays. And if they choose to start advertising the movie and then they have to delay it again, it's just costing Disney a lot of money. Not that they're short of money. I mean, I'm sure they're not, but I mean, it's still a cost. It's still a cost that they don't want to be spending, really. The second reason really is because the way the Marvel movies and Marvel TV shows now are being released, we all know that there's a storyline, and we know that certain parts, if you watch something here, it might spoil something here. And if this doesn't go out and it's not released in the chronological order that it should be released to the viewers, it may create confusion. And sure, they could edit stuff out, I'm sure. And we know that Black Widow does take place before Endgame. But still, it's really messing up the schedule. Because they delay one, they've got to delay all of them then. So they've got some big decisions to do over the next few weeks. I would personally now, if I was Disney, I would look at maybe doing what HBO Max are doing and Warner Brothers are doing, and say, we're going to just do hybrid release on this particular one. We're not going to release every movie straight to streaming at the same time as movie theaters. But at the moment, we're having to just do it on a one movie basis and look at each movie before it's released and say to ourselves, can we logically release this to movie theaters around the world when the cinemas are still closed? Here in the UK, we're still in a lockdown. It looks as though our lockdown here in the UK is probably going to end or be eased next month, but we don't know at what point. We're still unclear on what's going on because we're still getting really high numbers in regards to the pandemic, the coronavirus. So everywhere across the world is different. Everywhere is having different lockdowns, and It seems like the majority of countries are still in lockdowns, especially across Europe anyway. So where do they stand? I really think hybrid release is the best way for them to try and recoup some sort of money from this. Do they put it behind the paywall like they did with Mulan? I know they've done this. They're doing this with the Raya, the Last Dragon movie that's coming out. I believe they're doing a paywall with that, where it's like you have to pay like $29 on the Disney Plus service. Is that right? Is it the best way for them to do it? I don't know. Maybe I think if you're paying for a service, you should get the whole bundle. I think if you're paying for Disney Plus, my opinion is that you should get all the movies coming out. And if they're going to release a brand new movie to Disney Plus, that should be included in the cost. I don't think you should have to pay more money for it. But at the same time, if we can't go to the cinemas and if they're offering us new content, a brand new movie at home, the other argument is, playing devil's advocate here, is we're getting a brand new movie at home. It's only £30. I don't have to worry about going to the cinemas or anything because the cinemas are not even open. I can just watch it and chill out, and I get a brand new Marvel movie to watch at home, which is really good. So, look, who knows? But I think we are going to find out over the next few weeks. I think this is going to develop, and I think we're going to see the final decision on this over the next few weeks. At the moment, they're saying it's still a theatrical release. I think there's a massive question mark over all this at the moment. I think it's really in limbo. It could go either way at this moment in time. So I think it's just a case of let's just stay tuned to this topic at the moment in regards to Black Widow, because I think it'll definitely change. I think my bets are in, and I think I'm going to go. Well, my bets are on. I'm going for a hybrid release. I think it's going to be released the same day, May 7th. Is it May 7th? It is May 7th, 2021. And I think it's going to be a hybrid release, released at movie theatres and released on Disney Plus the same day. Right, so that is all the movie news over for the show for today, but I'm going to discuss what I've been watching this week. I've not really watched anything super new. I've not watched the latest WandaVision yet. I'm going to watch that later on today. I've just not had a chance to watch it just yet. I wasn't meaning to watch it last night, but I didn't get around to it. What I have been watching, first of all, Super Bowl. I watched the Super Bowl this past week, and I've seen the trailer for The Falcon and Winter Soldier, the new trailer. I can't wait. I really can't wait. And I was a bit offish about WandaVision at the first. I didn't like the tone of it, but I've started to get into it now, and I'm sold on the show. I think it's just I knew what to expect, but I didn't know what to expect, and I suppose them early episodes in like the 1950s, like the I Love Lucy, Bewitched style episodes, they just weren't for me. Weren't personally for me, but I've enjoyed the past few episodes since, and I'm looking forward to watching episode 6 today. I think it's going to be cool. But the Super Bowl trailer of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I thought it looked amazing, and I can't wait for that now. It's making me more excited for. I think I'm more excited now for what is going on the TV side of things, rather than like the upcoming movies like Black Widow and Eternals and Ant-Man 3. As exciting they will be, and I'm sure they will be fantastic movies, I'm more excited to hear about what's going on the TV show with like side of things with these two shows, with the Loki show, with Ms. Marvel. There's tons of cool shows coming up, and I just think it's going to be awesome to watch all these different shows. Disney Plus, they've got me. They've got the thumbs up from me, definitely. I'm really enjoying it. I've been rewatching Parks and Recreation. I've never watched the full show, but I've watched the first few seasons, and I really enjoyed it. I've just not got around to watching the whole show yet, but I've been rewatching some of the episodes of that this past week. I've been also watching more of Seinfeld. I mentioned this in last week's show that I've been watching Seinfeld recently, and it's the first time I've been watching it. And I really am getting into the show. There was one particular episode in. So I'm just going to drink some coffee as well, guys. But basically, there was one episode in season 2, and it was George where he's I have to rewatch this a few times because it just made me laugh. But George and Seinfeld are going on dates, and basically George is in the car, and then with this woman, and she she's like saying goodnight, and she says, "Do you want to come up for coffee?" And then George says, "Oh, I can't drink coffee this late at night. It'll keep me up all night." And he doesn't go in, and then afterwards he realizes, obviously, well, yeah, I think you can get what I'm saying. He realizes that he made a mistake in taking the offer of coffee, and it just made me laugh. It's a really funny show. Maybe it was just coffee. Maybe it was just coffee. I'm not insinuating anything, but that was the insinuation in the show. That is what was implied in the show anyway, and it made me laugh. I thought it was a funny episode, and I just watched that scene back a few times. It just made me chuckle. So yeah, great show so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying Seinfeld, and I was speaking to one of my friends at work the other day, last night, about it, and he said it gets better, like latter seasons of this. So I think there's about 6 or 7 series. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. And that is it. I've been rereading as well. I've been rereading some comics over the past few weeks. Two goals I had at the start of the year really are to read all the graphic novels I have and put them in an order of which ones are the best. So every time I read one now, I'll put it in like an order, so I know I have like this it's like a league table of my comics and graphic novels, all my hardbacks, and I've been rereading the New 52 Shazam graphic novel. Came out a few years ago now, and it was like one of the very first graphic novels I really got into and really enjoyed. And a lot of what the movie became was, I'm sure it's from this. I'm pretty sure because it just feels like a lot of it was taken. A lot of inspiration was taken from the New 52 Shazam comic series. It's a great. If you never read it, it really is. It's just a one volume. They never. I think it got cancelled, the series, unfortunately. I imagine it's probably been rebooted again and again and again since. But I really think it is a fantastic read. If you're into comic books or you want to get into comic books and you like superhero characters, I would definitely check out Shazam. I think it's a great read. So it's a Shazam New 52 graphic novel that I read. Fantastic. And it's such a cool. It's got Black Adam, which The Rock is going to star as Black Adam in the Black Adam solo movie. Black Adam features in it. Obviously, Billy Batson, Shazam, and there's a lot of stuff. If you've seen that movie as well, maybe you probably best check this out because it is really just a cool read. If you've enjoyed the movie anyway, definitely check it out. And yeah, so I've been rereading all my old graphic novels because I don't want to buy. As I said, there was two things when lockdown really started, and this year my goals, because I thought we're going to be in lockdowns again. I try and set myself goals anyway every year, but the one was to read more. So I'm doing the graphic novels, reading through all my old ones, and not purchasing any more until I've read them all and put my little league tables together. The second one is reading a book every month, and I've been reading. I don't read books like physically. I listen to books on Audible because I really struggle sometimes to concentrate. I wouldn't say I'm a really good reader. Really, I can read like little things, but I don't think I'm that good at reading. In all honesty, I can read, but I lose concentration really quickly. So audiobooks, I was really into. I'm a big podcast listener. Anyone who ever sees me, they see me with headphones on, and I got into Audible, and I got into it a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I love listening to audiobooks, and this year I've just been so far. It's only February, but I've read 2 books. What did I read? I read Pat Flynn's Superfans. That was the first one in January, and I read a book the other day on anxiety and panicking. I don't actually suffer from anxiety or panic or like any like panic attacks. It's not. I've mentioned that on videos in the past. I have like mild like light OCD, and it's maybe got a bit worse during the lockdowns. But I'm sure a lot of other people are like that. But I don't really suffer from anxiety per se. I wouldn't say I'm a long term sufferer of like anxiety or panic attacks or anything like that. It's not something, thankfully, I've never really had to deal with in my life. So really thankful. But I felt like it was something I should read because I know there's a lot of people around me, people I work with, people, well, not specifically people I work with, people within my life, just, and I know there's many people who I don't know who suffer from anxiety, and I thought it'd be just an interesting read to look at the topic really, and I found it to be an interesting read. I can't remember the title of the book exactly or who it was by, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good read, and it was something with me. I read a lot of like self help books and self development books. So for me to look into a book that's more about like healthcare and health issues, it was just an interesting break from reading books about like from like Gary Vee or Tim Ferriss or something like that. So it was an interesting read, and I would most definitely check out Superfans, and I will, if I can I'll try and link in the book below in the description that I mentioned. But anyway, that is what I've been watching this week. Housekeeping, short housekeeping section for today. I released a video this week on movie snacks. Movie snacks, popcorn was eaten during that video, and it was delicious. That was the first time I ate popcorn. So if you're not checked out the video, I did a video on home theatre movie snacks, talking about movie rooms and home theatres. I've got like a few videos on the topic now. So I put this video together talking about my favourite home theatre snacks. People seem to like the video. If you're not checked it out though, definitely give it a watch. It's a fun video. It's me tasting some snacks, and it's a very, I found it to be a very funny video. Eating food on camera. You can't go wrong with that. I'm going to have to do more of these ones. And yeah, so that, ladies and gents, that is the show for today. That is a Saturday movie show. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video today, please do give it a like. Your thumbs up, your likes are always appreciated, and it goes a long way into supporting this channel, supporting the community we're building here. It's awesome. Thank you to everyone who has been subscribing to the channel. Thank you again to everyone who is commenting on the videos. I love hearing everyone's feedback, and I love just chatting with people about films, about movies, TV shows, home cinemas. It's awesome. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next Saturday.